Okay, welcome to our Glow Team Zoom. And you guys, I heard one of my inspirations train, and I want to share this with you. I know how busy you all are, but I'm very plugged into on Saturday mornings. It's 9 a.m. Pacific. It's actually 12 p.m. Eastern time every week. There's a Go for Gold training, and they really are pure gold. And one of my Arbonne favorites trained last Saturday. Her name is Sarah Dunning. She has a 7 wide MVP in Arbonne. And in Arbonne, when you're 5 nations wide, you automatically get on all of the MVP challenge trips. So this is two. So I think she's the second widest in Arbonne. And what I love about her story is that she started off as a dancer, an introvert who was very shy, didn't have a lot of confidence. And in her whole first year, she presented the business opportunity to 100 people, and she got 100 no's. But what she says is that she had to, at the same time, be working on her personal growth and development. And something I learned that I did not know happens, and I think in the UK it's easier because they're one time zone. They have a 6:30 a.m. call for all UK consultants to tune in to do a morning routine together based on 7 success habits. So for the very beginning, we talk about personal growth and development, and we kind of have been doing that on our own, but I love that they plug into that. So in 1 year's time, she said she had just incrementally improved her confidence, and that she knew that she was able to do it, but she wasn't who she needed to be yet. And as she says, in order to have a level 10 business, you have to be a level 10 person. And every single person here on the screen right now, and everyone who's listening, can all be a level 10 person. And that is not a judgment if you're a level 2. That's just about your confidence, your skills. These are all things that you can learn, and you can change. You can become who you need to be to have the business that you want to have. If you are committed to putting in the work, you absolutely can do it. And you may need to identify limiting beliefs. There may be a lot of personal growth and development involved, but one thing I can guarantee you is that if you grow that level in terms of your business, you will also be growing into a level 10 life, because everything you learn to grow in business is going to apply to all your relationships. Which is just so exciting to me. And so this topic is about the power of our building block in Arbonne. And it's actually a super it's a really basic topic, but I think it's one we don't talk about enough. And I think when you hear it, you're going to just be so excited, because it's going to make it so clear to you how this business works and how you should share it and how you should grow it. Okay, um, and really, you can build this business very successfully with 1 hour a week, but you need to know what you're doing in that hour. All right. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. And I mentioned Tony Robbins, and that question of, that the quality of our life is determined by the quality of our questions. So sometimes the questions that we ask are like, oh, why is this happening to me? Why am I going through this? And we need to change the quality of our questions. And what a really great question is, how can I? And some people turn that into, if she can, I can. I heard one of the trainers yesterday in the personal branding challenge that I'm in, Tom Bilyeu, some of you may know him from Impact University. He says, if your goals don't violate the laws of physics, they're possible. So, set your goals. And really, unless that goal somehow violates the laws of physics, it is possible. There is going to be some way to do it, and you can figure it out. And it may involve becoming who you need to become, and growing into that future version of yourself. But to come back to that building block in Arbonne, you guys, Arbonne, if you look, you'll see this if you take a look at our success plan. It's built on a 2,500 QV building block. All right, so that is what we call the magic building block. I think that might be Linka's cat that just walked past. and the building block. So our job in Arbonne is super simple. One is to learn how to do our building block, our 2,500 client QV building block on our own. Okay. And then to grow our business, we don't have to do like in other kinds of businesses where you get paid for, just for your time and for your own personal production. In this business, we can keep doing our personal 2,500 building block. And then the way that we can grow our business incrementally, and develop time leveraging and time freedom and an income that is not tied to the hours that we work and that doesn't have a cap, doesn't have a ceiling, is by teaching other people to do what we do and to also teach them how to do that basic 2,500 QV building block. And teaching them how to find other people and how to teach them. So just to give you an idea, you guys, so 2,500 QV that's district manager maintenance, you guys, 2,500 QV. So you can do district on your own, but you doing 2,500 and 3 other people doing 2,500. So you plus 3, that's 10,000, you guys. That is area manager. And then let's look at regional vice president. Regional vice president is 16 people doing 2,500 QV. That's you plus 15 people. So not just to break it down, there's nothing mysterious, okay? And then national vice president breaks down, when you divide by $2,500 building block, that breaks down into 64 blocks, 64 of those building blocks. So it's you plus 63 other people doing the 2,500 QV building block. Now, do you have to promote and personally sponsor all 63 of those people? No, you don't, because that can come about through your team. And so what you're looking for is a few people, a few other people. Now, I don't know if everyone here wants to go to the top of Arbonne, and I know that Lenka shared her story that when she started, she shared that last week. What she wanted to do was to make $1,200 a month, and she saw that was the average at the area manager level. So that was her goal. But that once she got there, she saw, oh, well, if I keep going and I keep teaching more people how to teach people to do this same building block, there's no reason why I couldn't get to the top of the company. So it's you, whether that's your goal now or not your goal. I want you to understand that it's you, and then a few other people that want to go to the top. So first thing is your building block. And so what's so nice about this is that, that 2,500 QV, that's your PCs, that's your preferred clients. And that is like 10 to 20 loyal preferred clients. And, you are, how you sell that 2,500 QV of product yourself. It depends on what you love, right? Like what you use and what you love, because most of us, we're going to mostly sell the things that we love the most, right? So you could break that down into Green Synergy. For some reason I have Green Gut Glow, so the number's a little bit different, but it's 13 to 14 Green Gut Glow packages in a month is 2,500 QV. The 5-piece Derm Results Advanced, it's about 7 Derm Results Advanced sets is 2,500 QV. 30 Days to Healthy Living sets, that's about 6 per month. The Daily Essentials pack, which is the one with the protein powder plus the Green Synergy plus the Fizz. I love that one, that package so much. It's between 8 and 9 per month is a 2,500 QV building block to break that down for you. And of course, our preferred clients have the option of Replenish Me. And one of the beauties of Replenish Me is, we've talked about before, it's win-win. They get their products that they love, that are improving their health. They don't run out of them. They arrive regularly for them. And for us, we don't have to keep finding every month new clients, right? So the bigger percentage of your client QV that's Replenish Me, the more that frees you up to do the second part of your business, which is to find those other people that you can teach and train to build their own QV. But coming back to our preferred clients, so those loyal preferred clients, once you have them, guys, you want to treat them like gold. And there is a movement, there's a movement in business for large companies that are looking at how do they give personal attention to their clients, right? And Sarah talks about this, and I loved it, is that for 44 years, Arbonne has been doing this, that each consultant has this group of their own clients that they are giving VIP service to, right? And that's what we already do. But those are the ones that, and I'm trying to get better at this. Like I forget to write down their birth date, and then it goes in, but you can't see it. But, know their birth dates, know the names of their kids. Lenka's on the screen here. Lenka does such a great job with her customer service. Like, I know that her preferred clients feel like they get the diamond treatment from Lenka. I know that Heather, who's not here right now because she's running around doing coffee meetings, same thing. That I know her preferred clients feel like they get top-notch service from her. And people will not, they develop loyalty. I remember when I one time ordered a gift for Kelly GT in Calgary, as one of my MVPs, I was ordering her a bag from Coach. And afterwards, and I was in US and they were in Calgary, and I got a handwritten postcard from Calgary in handwriting thanking me for thinking of them and for my purchase. And it was, just, it still stands out in my memory. I think I held on to it. I used it as a bookmark. I was, of course, like, I felt like if I need anything else in Calgary, I'm going to use that Coach store, right? So just an example of how we want to make people feel. And then they will stick with you. So, we don't feel like you need to find hundreds of clients of your own. Find those 10, 20, 30, it depends on how often they're ordering, right? And then you give them great service and they will give you loyalty and they will benefit. And it is so win-win. And I know Wendy's here, and I always remember Wendy Robinson talking about how there's a synergy in win-win. So you want to plug into that synergy. So that provides the solid baseline of your business. And once you have that, then that gives you the time and energy to use that Arbonne time, that hour per day or more, whatever you're choosing to put in, to focus on what is going to massively grow your Arbonne empire. And that is talking about the business. Okay, because the business is what gives you time leveraging. And and if you're constantly rebuilding your building block, then all your, it's harder to build your empire, basically. And you want to make sure, you want to get into a position so that your Arbonne hour, I just love this concept of your Arbonne hour a day, like your dedicated Arbonne hour. You guys, when she was building her business, Sarah Dunning was working 120 hours a week in a job and a side job, and then building Arbonne on top of that. Okay. I remember working 120 hours a week when I was doing, in residency. I wasn't doing that, quite that much, but when I built my business to Nation. But you guys, we can find the time. It's not really about do you have the time, it's do you value, if you value this enough, you will fit it into your schedule. And there will be some sacrifices, but it's short-term sacrifices for long-term gain. And that's something we used to say a lot when I started my business. And I think we somehow got away from it. Maybe in the era of self-help, we stopped talking about sacrifice. But you guys, like, I gave up TV for 2 years. I didn't watch Lost when it first came out, right? But after I went Nation, I watched like all the seasons of Lost on, back then it was DVD, right? I caught up. So you will catch up. So, okay, let me just talk a little bit more about this. So, so again, we're individually looking after our clients, and then we want to find more people to do the same thing. And we want to focus on enrolling new ICs. Here's a really interesting thing, you guys. Do you know that out of the entire history of network marketing, all the people who've been in network marketing with every company, not just Arbonne, that only 20% enroll at least one person on their team. So if you have ever enrolled one person on your team, just one person, you're already in the top 20% of Arbonne, of network marketing. Okay. And then, only 2% of people enroll 10 or more consultants to their team or representatives. All right. So, I know we have at least one person on the screen here who's enrolled, 10 people or more. But you guys, so those are really the people that create the industry. And yet everyone here that I can see on the screen right now is capable of doing that. You really are. But when you narrow down into what are the just really being intentional and focused on what is going to make this business not only make an income, but help you to make an impact in the world, you guys. It's doing your own 2,500 QV building block. If you're not doing that yet, talk to your upline and get training. There's so much training available. And when you plug into it, you can do it. And then to find the people who want to treat the business, people with a good, I like what I say is people with a good, I'm looking for leaders with a good work ethic, who have a clear vision of their future and who are committed to going to the top. Now, I don't know if I had a clear vision of my future when I started this business, other than I did have a clear vision that I want to stay home part-time. I was 100% committed to, I want to stay home part-time with my baby and my teenagers. And no matter how afraid I am, no matter what I don't know, I will learn anything I need to know. If my laundry doesn't all get folded on the same day I washed it, I'm like willing to sacrifice that for that vision, right? So, but you do have to talk to large numbers of people, and I think most of the people here, including myself, are not talking to enough people to find the people that want to build something big with this. But you guys, when you know that it just takes a few people, 4, 5, 6, 10 people that want to take it, treat this business seriously, how many people do you have to talk to? So I'll give you some example, and I'm taking these numbers from Sarah Dunning. But to get 50 people that you can share the full Arbonne story, to share the business with, right, including as well as the products, you may have to invite 200 people, right? And maybe a quarter of those will say yes. And then you've got 50 people that you share with. And out of those, probably about 5 of them are going to enroll. And then, not every single person is going to do something. So you can see that it's big numbers. But when you realize that you just have to get good at a few skills so that you can, number one, find new people, and number two, share the Arbonne story with them, right? And then learn how to launch them, to teach them to do what you do, get them started doing the same things, finding people and sharing the story. So, and she said something that's, if you're currently clinging to 3 people who said that they might do this 2 years ago, it's time to let go. And I could probably I could possibly be excused of clinging to some people, although, I never want to stop for any one person. But you guys, you have to find new people. And how are you going to find new people? Because we all start with our friends and family, except a few people who say, I don't want to, and they start with their cold market, right? But predominantly we do. But you can't just stay with your friends and family. So how are you need a strategy to meet new people. And there are a lot of ways to meet new people. So Lenka, before we started recording, just shared a win from us with a table that she did at the Victoria Marathon, and that she got lots of new names there. And out of those, she booked 15 parties. So one way to meet new people. So there's 2 ways to meet new people there, you guys. One is doing tables, and 2 is doing parties, because whenever you do a party, people bring people that you don't know, and that cold market gets warmed up by their relationship with the host or hostess who is endorsing you, and you've met new people, and then they may book out and they may book out, right? So that is a whole method. Doing parties is a whole method of continually meeting new people. You can do networking events. I've started joining, for the first time in the past year, I joined a women's networking group, going to more networking events and meeting more people that way, which is something I hadn't done before. Sarah Dunning shared that she actually does her own networking event once a month for an hour and a half. She invites people through LinkedIn, new people through LinkedIn, and does a live event at a local restaurant for an hour and a half. And out of 20 people, she'll usually get 10 that she'll do coffee dates with. And then, so there's 10 new people right there. So you could join a networking group. You could sponsor your own, or, organize your own networking group. That would be another one. And then, of course, there's social media. And that's so the GoPro branding challenge that I've been doing is focused on how you meet more people through social media. We've had some fantastic Arbonne trainings on that in the last little while. So there's lots there. But you guys, if you want to use social media to meet new people, it's very intentional, right? And it's going to be a learning curve, but that extends the reach of who you can meet. And so I think that that school is never out, right? We are perpetual learners, and so that's something that I'm learning more about. And we actually have somebody on the screen who I met through Instagram, which is Ben. Ben and I met through Instagram. But I do have like one new person on my team, as I said, that came through my work with me application form in my bio on Instagram. So know what your method is of finding people. And again, if you're not sure, this would be a great conversation to have with your coach, right? How am I going to meet new people? What's my strategy? And it could be a mix of things, but you got to know how you're finding new people, or you will be perpetually feeling like I've run out of people. I can't keep asking the same people. They're the same people are not talking to me. The same people are not replying, right? So there's billions of people in the world. I don't know how
Oh
many
my,
people there are in the 6 countries that we're in, but you guys, it's a lot of people. So our job is to be the educator. And, most people, there's so many people that are looking for a change. The people that are not our people are the ones who are 100% feel like they're thriving in their lives. They love everything the way it is. They don't have any feeling of restlessness. They don't desire growth or change at all. Okay, those are not our people. But all the rest of the people, want to make some kind of changes. They're probably not looking at Arbonne or a network marketing business as being the vehicle for the changes that they want. So our job is to meet with them, to educate them, to show them how we make money and make sure that they really understand that, and then let them decide if this is for them or not. And most people don't know. And again, I was realizing we used to talk about this a lot more. Most people know how to trade time for money. And that's what I did as a psychiatrist. Right. So as a psychiatrist, I got paid by the hour, or I got paid a salary. I got paid a really good salary. Right. So like on a full day of work, I could make over $1,000 in a day, you guys. But there's a limit. But if I didn't go to work, I didn't get paid. And there's a limit to how many hours one person can work. There's just a ceiling to that. But once you realize that, once you unhook yourself from linking your time with money, and realizing that you can have this unlimited growth by learning this building block, teaching other people and teaching other people, and that grows and grows and grows and grows. There is no ceiling to that, you guys. And I think that should be most people don't have any idea that they can get into a quadrant where making money is not attached to their time. We need to do a good job of sharing that with them. Make sure they really understand that. Make sure that we understand that. And then our job is to share, right? If you're really kind of unclear on that, then that would be something to educate yourself more at. Talk to your coach about, like, where else can I learn more about this? What can I watch? What can I learn? But there is this amazing option with such a low startup cost, especially this month. So much lower risk, right? People can do this alongside what they are currently doing. They don't have to give up their current job. They don't have to go get a $50,000 or a $500,000 loan like some franchises require, right? Many franchises require that your people actually have to sign that they're going to work 60, 70 hours per week. That's a part of it. So this is so much lower risk, but the potential is so great. So I think we all need to do a better job of sharing that and conveying that. And at the same time, share with a sense of urgency. Ben, you used the word movement earlier today. Share with a sense of movement. So here is here's an analogy for you guys to think of, for us all to think about. That if you had a big long line, like you set yourself up in the middle of the middle of the town where you live, on a plaza or a town hall, a coffee shop that's in the middle, and everybody in town is lined up in a big long line to hear what you've got to say. And so you've got a short amount of time to share with each person, to convey what is this business model and how do we make money, and tell them about Arbonne, right? How are you going to share it, and how are you going to react if they're not interested? So, you're going to share quickly and concisely and clearly, because you've got a long line of people there and you don't know where your people are. And when they say, no, it's not for me, you're not going to be like, oh no, in tears or anything else. You're just going to be, okay, that's fine. I'll check back in with you, like, I don't know, 3 months, 6 months, whatever it's going to be, and move on to the next person, right? Because you want to get through all the people so that you can find the people that it's for, who are waiting for you. So, think about that. Um, and then ways of meeting people. Um, I think that I'm just want to say, I wanted to come back to talk about the other thing I promised to talk about. But I'm not going to talk more about sharing on social media. I think that's another topic, you guys. But there's such great ways to find people. You can go to your explore page, and go from there. You can follow people who have common interests with you, look at their followers, see who's got a story. look at the story, see who resonates with you, and start conversations. But basically, social media is just like real life. It's starting conversations with people that you resonate with. And then when you hear something that sounds to your ears like I need Arbonne, like they say, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, I hate my job, I'm worried about this. You could say, well, you know what, you should take a look at what I do. Like it really can be that simple. So we want to get that, we want to get our own building blocks met. And this month, you guys, with everything that we've got, the holiday line, people are shopping, we've got, just such amazing, our basic health and wellness products, our skincare, and we've got this is one of the best times of year. So, and then it's good. So let's build our building blocks. Let's go out and look for people and, find people who want more time, more money, more community, more confidence, because all of those needs can be met with Arbonne. And so coming back to, I was talking with Karen about this, and I said that I would talk about it today, although she had a last minute appointment and couldn't be here. She'll probably be listening to this recording. So I heard a great word. You guys, you're all going to resonate with this. This is the word allodoxophobia. Allodoxophobia. Do you know what allodoxophobia is? Anybody know? Allodoxophobia is the fear of other people's opinions. Okay, so most consultants that I know in Arbonne have struggled in some way with that. There's very few people who haven't had some, worried about other people's opinion of what they're doing. And a lot of times, even like online, going onto social media, a big thing people will say is like, they're really not sure about being out there, and what will people think, right? What will people think if I post more? What will people think if I show my face more? What will people think, about me doing this? So how to get rid, and so my question to you is it possible that allodoxophobia is holding you back? Like, is that one of the obstacles that's between where you are now and where you want to be with your business? Right? And if it is, then that should be, one of the things that you want to overcome, and as quickly as possible. And you know what? The best remedy that I can think of for allodoxophobia is, you guys, is by jumping in and risking and deciding, number one, telling yourself that other people's opinions are not paying your bills, right? Also deciding that you're not going to take advice from anyone who hasn't been successful in this industry. The people who will be critical of you, whether for this industry or for other things, they're going to be people who are not successful in this. So I wouldn't be taking advice from them. But sometimes that's holding you back from being your authentic self, and especially, in your business in any way, whether on social media or in anything else you're doing. If you are being authentic, if you are intentionally going after the goals and that vision that you have for your future, and not letting your fear of other people's opinions get in the way. So, how do you do that? How do you let go? The main thing is by doing. The main thing is by being bold, stepping outside your comfort zone, and just doing. And you guys, if you need to process a little bit with your coach, maybe around what some of your fears are, or even the assumptions that you're making about people's fears, because what you will also find is that most people are not thinking of you nearly as much as you think they are. They are way too busy thinking about their own lives and their own problems, their financial problems, their problems with their, all kinds of things. They're not thinking about you as much as you think they are. So, so that's just one example of something that could be holding you back, but a good question, I think, for all of us to ask ourselves. And if it's possible that allodoxophobia could be holding you back, maybe next week we'll hear some wins from the week, from maybe someone who jumped past that. And so we are, we've got a few minutes before Tuesday Team Huddle, which is Sabrina Waldner this week. I can't even remember what the topic is, but I'm sure it's always fantastic. Let anybody have any questions or want to make any comments before we finish up?
I have a couple things I wanted to add to everything you just said there, Tanis, because that was fantastic. I just love everything that you said in that training. And of course, being in business a long time, we all hear a lot of the same things over and over again, but sometimes we need to hear it at the right time and, just have it kind of more embedded with ourselves. But The numbers game. I so remember in the beginning of my business, I'm going to give you like two things that I wrote down about this, but in the beginning of my business, I listened to, we had Jim Rohn, who's one of my favorite. I think of him as my grandfather in Arbonne, because he just has the most wise words of wisdom. But he talked about how to trust that you get better, and also that Arbonne isn't for everyone. So sometimes we feel like, okay, I'm talking to some people, but I'm getting no's. It doesn't matter. Arbonne isn't for everyone. Just like not everybody likes to go paddleboarding. I have to ask people who likes to go paddleboarding to find people to go paddleboarding with me, right? And not everybody's going to want to do that. It's the same thing in Arbonne. Not everybody's going to want to participate in the types of products that we have, and that's normal. That's okay. It's not something that we should feel like, oh God, what we have is not good, right? Or she doesn't, or whatever we think about it. Let it go, because Arbonne's just not for everyone. But it is a numbers game. So Jim Rohn says, talk to 10, get one. You talk to 10 people. That's the law of numbers, just the way it works, that when you talk to enough people, you meet somebody who wants to participate in the things that we have, whether that's a business or a product, or having fun with their friends and hosting a party. But talk to 10, get one. And he said, and then you keep practicing, and the more you do it, all of a sudden you start talking to 10, you get two, and you start talking to more people, and all of a sudden you're talking to 10 people, and you're getting 3 people who want to participate. And and you're probably never going to get more than 3 out of 10. So knowing that, like knowing you're going to have more people who don't want to participate than the people who do. However, you're going to have a lot of those people that Arbonne's going to change their gut health, and it's going to change their finances and that kind of thing. So our job is just to keep offering it and not getting our heads about it, and trust the numbers game. That if you keep talking to people, you are going to meet the people who want to participate. And the other thing is, when I first started my business, I did not feel like I was good at meeting people at all. I had my social network, my friends and family who I grew up with, my best friends, and we were, that my little group. I did not feel confident to walk into a room where I didn't know people and spark up a conversation. Going to a networking event was terrifying to me. Like, that is gut-wrenchingly terrifying. So I did not want to do it. And I didn't, because you don't have to do the things you really don't want to. As long as you're doing something, it doesn't matter what it is. But what I learned was I didn't have to meet more people if I got really good at getting my parties I currently had to book out, and getting referrals from the people I did know. Because that way I didn't have to go out into the world and just meet a stranger. I would be in somebody's living room. So I worked really hard. And so when you do have a party, let's say if you've got a group presentation on your books, make sure that you look through. Obviously, we have a script and materials for closing out your party, but get good at closing it. Get good at closing that every single person leaves that party with a next, and that you offer to every single person a business chat, and you offer to every single person to book a party. Don't choose who you're saying that to. Ask it to absolutely everyone. Because if you get good at that booking out, that momentum keeps carrying forward, and you're not always having to constantly go out and meet somebody new at the grocery store. So, and it is a skill, and we get better and better at it. I just want to add that.
Yeah. Yeah. I can echo that. I was very shy when I started my business, but you know what? I got so much less shy because I got so curious about people, and I started to have so much fun with meeting new people and seeing what I can learn for them, and seeing if this might be for them, and making so many more friends because I would book coffees with people, or virtual coffees, and some of them become consultants, some of them become, and if they say no to the business, we really hope that they'll take advantage of the products as they become one of your preferred clients. Some don't do any of those things, but they become great friends. So, that was really a transformation process over time for me. And, and I love networking events now. I've got a lot more women's networking events, and meet amazing people. So, but you guys, it's up to you. What is that method, and coming up with a strategy. You want to have a plan. You want to have goals. If you don't have goals set yet, you guys make a goal setting session with your coach. All right. It's just the 12th today. So, but November is such an amazing month. Don't let this month pass you by without setting a goal, and then coming up with a strategy for how to get to that goal, and and diving in, because this is one of those months where your time in is going to be multiplied in terms of the results. And when you start to create momentum, you guys, what happens with momentum, like I can tell you that I don't know, in about the second year of my business around this time of the year, I could not book anything to save my life. My calendar was blank. I was like in paralysis. I was just kind of in feeling paralysis. And we've talked about before that I started doing a simple daily action that got me doing things. And then I got something booked and that a lot of things came out of. But it was only 4 months later, you guys, there was so much momentum in my business that it was like a snowball rolling down like it became like an avalanche that you couldn't stop, right? Starts off as a snowball and then it couldn't be stopped and it just like rolled all the way to nation. And it really sometimes only takes one person, the injection of one person with their energy and with everything else that can transform everything in your business. So I want to finish up with questions because I love this idea. Think about what questions are you asking yourself? And who might I meet today who's going to be my first MVP or my next MVP, if you've already had one in my business, right? What possibilities are opening to me today, but who am I going to meet that I can help today? There are a lot of great questions. So start and end your day with great questions as well as gratitude, you guys. And that can be so transformational. So I'm grateful for you all. I cannot wait to hear about your week and what happens over this next week. And we'll let you all go to hop on to Tuesday Team Huddle. And you guys, if you don't have it written down, it's a different Zoom. It's 403-462-3335. And I only know that because that's Kelly's phone number and it comes from the days before smartphones, so it's actually in my brain. And then the passcode is 654321. All right. Have a fantastic week. Thanks for
Thank
being here.
you.
Yeah, bye guys.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.